Dating. He's already.
Oops.
It is, but have you ever...
All right.
Ready?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Hi, everyone.
What's going on, everyone? It is Thursday.
Thursday.
Yes.
We are Chatter of Opinion. My name's Angela.
And I am Ron. Thank you, guys, for joining us. And what are we talking about today?
We are talking about dating someone in a situation.
A situation. Now, there's a lot of different situations. There's good situations.
True.
There's sticky situations. There are situations.
Situations.
Right?
Yeah. Situations.
So
That's
today we're going to try to cover quite a few of them when it comes to dating someone in a situation.
It can get sticky.
Yes,
right?
Depending on what type of situation it is. Like I said in the commercial, dating can be difficult just straight up.
Yeah.
Meeting people, if they
general.
have kids, this, that, and the other, just to figure out the normalcy of whatever, of relationships, that could be difficult.
Yes.
So then when you throw a situation into it, like one of y'all got some type of situation.
Extraness going on.
Especially when you're not used to it, that can be pretty sticky.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely. And it can cause more of a rift than what an original or like a normal relationship would be without the sitch.
Right.
It just makes it that much more sticky.
It could, depending on
dating's
what the
already
situation is.
hard. It's already hard.
To begin with. Yeah. And then when you have to jump into a situation where somebody has a situation that you are not used to, it could be pretty ugly. So that's what we're talking about today. We're talking about dating someone that has a situation, right? Like, have you ever?
Let's give an example of some situations.
Well, first of all, let's go to how to chime in. If you guys want to chime in, we would love to hear what you guys have to say. If you have dated someone that was in a situation, please
tell us.
Yeah, feel free to let us know. You can reach out to us on here on Facebook Live. You can reach out to us on YouTube Live under Chat of Our Opinion, or if you want to be heard but not seen, you can give us a call at 505-528-5653. Once again, that number is 505-528-5653. We are talking dating someone in a situation. So let's get to the first example.
Okay.
So they can understand what we're talking about.
So a few that we came up with of what would be considered a situation would be maybe someone is living at home with their parents, but also your parents could be living with you.
Okay, let's break that down. A situation, like she said, could be if the person that you are dating is living at home with their parents.
Yes.
Is that a turn off, or can you just see past that?
There's some variables. First, you would maybe need to see the why behind it.
Okay.
Right? Especially with the housing nowadays. Maybe you had a roommate, they moved out. You maybe couldn't maintain the high price of the 2-bedroom you had.
Okay.
And you looked for a 1-bedroom, and unfortunately there just wasn't anything available or something that you were willing to pay.
Okay.
Right? So let me move back in with my parents, stack my chips a little bit so then I can get back out there and do what I got to do.
I can see that.
So it's temporary.
But how temporary should temporary be?
That's the questions that need to be asked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then on the flip side is if your parents live with you. Now, I can see both sides. And I think there's a difference. I believe, depending on the situation, there is a difference between living with your parents and your parents living with you.
I agree. So wait, are we gonna just list our types now and then do
No,
our?
we're gonna go one for
Okay,
one so we
yes.
can deal with that
Perfect. Because
situation.
okay, so along with each situation, we're gonna talk about deal breakers and negotiables, right?
Right.
So if someone is living at home with the parent,
Okay.
what part of that would be a deal breaker?
It
Like-
depends, like you said, on why they live with their parents. If they just
Yes.
never left the house and they just
chilling.
decided to chill at the parents' house, they don't have any responsibilities. To me, that's a no-go because you
Mhm.
comfortable.
Yeah.
So if you're comfortable living at home with your parents, then
You're gonna be comfortable wanting
with
to
me.
move in with me.
Plus, every time I want to come through,
Yeah.
I got to go sit up there with the parents too.
Yeah. Or you always have to come to my place,
Mm.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So a negotiable again, maybe like it's just temporary, right?
Okay.
I'm giving it 6 months or a year or whatever the case.
But
it's temporary.
To me, I'd be like, where you at? I would look at your stride in life and
Mhm.
see where you're trying to go to.
Yeah, because if you're like, oh, I just have this basic job, and I need something more in order to get out of my parents' home, and you're
Right.
really not doing what you got to do.
Right. Because some people save their
Then-
chips. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I live with my parents, trying to save my chips because I am trying to get me a new spot. Marley.
Sorry, guys. Hold on.
Hurry up. Another situation.
Marley, enough. Thank you.
Okay. So
Sorry, guys.
then the difference in that and your parents living with you,
you're
I can
most
understand
likely
that.
supporting them.
Correct.
But maybe there's a situation there where, look, my parents need a place. They're also maybe contributing for whatever reason just to help your life out because they understand that it's just maybe the right thing to do or
Right.
just what they want to do to contribute.
Now, once again, if the parents is spread out, that if I come through, I ain't got to be staring them in the face every single time.
Yeah. Or
then-
maybe your parents, what is that show where it's like the mom and the daughter are like all up in each other's business?
The show?
Yeah, it's a show where it was like the mom and they dress alike.
Oh,
and
that
they're
was on
always,
that
I don't know what it's
VH1
called.
or whatever.
Whatever.
Yeah,
Anyways,
yeah.
that's hard if like your parents are just like in your business, maybe coming in trying to change things or, just inserting themselves. That's hard. That's
Yeah.
rough.
So along those lines, like we said, the first one that comes up is lives at home with the parents or the parents live at home with you. That's
Yes.
that's a situation.
Right. And is it a deal breaker?
Yeah, is that a deal breaker
Or
for you?
is it negotiable? Like let's see what comes of it. All right, next one.
Still married but separated.
That's sticky.
Let's say you meet somebody and they are what you're looking for. They still married.
Mm-hmm.
Technically,
yes.
Status says married.
Yes.
But
their taxes say married.
Yeah, but
They're
separated.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Is that a deal breaker or negotiable? I feel that if the person shows steps towards, we're currently separated, but we've already started the paperwork. Right? This has been in the plannings for years and we finally were able to, or whatever, we both finally agreed to it. We're filing the paperwork. Court isn't scheduled for 3 months.
Right. Okay.
So to me, that's kind of negotiable. Like, okay, there's an end to that.
Right.
But you ain't just chilling being married with no plan to get divorced.
No exit plan.
Yeah.
Hennessy asks, does it take a while to get a divorce? Sometimes it can. Depends on what is at stake.
Or if there's arguments
right.
of the
like what's at
separation
stake,
of items
property
or children
or finances or something. It can take a while. It just depends.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of on the lines where you have to kind of agree to a certain extent to get a divorce.
Compromise.
Right. You have to agree, and then they decide from there. The court's going to decide, how long it's going to take according to your lawyer, his lawyer, blah, 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 and your assets.
Yeah.
So it could take, you can go down to the courthouse, sign some documents now, and get divorced within, I say a week or so, probably less than that, if you're not contesting anything. Or you can contest everything, and you could be going through a divorce settlement for years.
Yeah.
It just depends. But if that's the case, and somebody tells you they separated, what's up? Is that a deal breaker?
Right. Or, hey, you know what? We can be friends or maintain a friendship, but I'm just not willing to date a married man no matter what.
Jasmine says she got to see the paperwork. She says she got to see it filed. Like, let me check that paperwork out.
Until then, just step back.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I agree. Let's see. Monica said, my divorce took 2 weeks, girl. That's a fast thing. I know. Who did you? What lawyer did you pay?
She went to that drive-through divorce over there off of
They have a drive-through divorce?
They do have a drive-through.
I thought that was only in Vegas.
Or a drive-through marriage
that's
or
a
divorce?
Marriage.
Yeah, one of them is a drive-through here.
Well, you're lucky, Monica, because some can take quite a while.
Yeah, they can. So here's the deal. When somebody's getting a divorce, and that's I've heard one of the main things that men normally tell women if they are married.
And then a year later, we're getting a divorce.
Yeah, they keep saying that they're getting a divorce or they're separated, but then never really get a divorce. And there's many reasons why not to get a divorce and so forth. But if you're separated, some people see it as separated, some people see it as still married. My thing is you still married. No matter if you separated, no matter if you on a break, blah, blah, blah. If your paperwork, if we go to the courthouse right now because I'm so in love with you and I want to get married to you, I cannot get married to you or take our relationship to the next level because you are still technically married, right?
Yeah.
So in that case, to me, that would be like, nah, I'm going to stall you out real quick.
Okay.
So on the flip side of it, if you do show progress, like Jasmine and them said, towards you getting a divorce, and I see that you got a court date on this time. And
also,
you show
too, what may help is we're married, but we're separated, meaning I have my own place. They have their own place. We're just trying to get the courts rolling.
Yeah,
I feel like that's a negotiable. Like it's not like they're still living in the same household.
But they still married, though.
I hear you, but I'm just saying, like, there's a light at the end of the tunnel. That's
a very dim light.
Monica says, I printed it out, we signed it, notarized, and filed.
Yeah,
bam, bam.
There you go. There is a fast way to do it. But there can be no disputes. You can't.
That's true.
And normally when children are involved, it takes a little
or you're splitting your assets, things like that, it can get sticky.
Yes, yes.
All right. Next one.
What you got?
Actually, should we do?
Just say one. You're good.
Well, just because it kind of goes with the one I just said, that they live with their ex, but say it's for financial reasons.
Ooh.
That's a hard pass for me.
Ooh. Once again, she said the situation would be the person still lives with their ex,
but they say it's for financial reasons. Maybe they both invested in the house and they're not willing to leave. Maybe they're sleeping in separate bedrooms, so they say.
Oh.
But they say they're eventually going to do. I don't know. But to me, that's a hard pass. What would be a negotiable? You bring me over. They know about me. Like, we have dinner together.
Ooh, I don't know about that one.
Yeah.
You living with your ex. Your daily is with the ex.
Yeah.
You leave.
Or maybe they can claim, oh, well, we do it because of the kids. So the parents are under the same roof until they're a certain age.
Hennessy says, hard pass on that. Jasmine's like, then you're a bum and I can't talk to you. Okay. Negotiating. What they doing when you leave? That's about trust, though, Jasmine. You got to trust your new boo. You know what I mean? No matter what they're going to do when you leave, period. No matter if he with the ex or not. You see what I'm saying? So it's all about trust. However,
but if it's so new, you don't know trust yet.
That's too close right there.
I
when
agree.
you living with the ex.
Yes.
And if it's for financial reasons, for one, I'm going to be more curious about what
The
type of financial situation
reasons.
that you are in, that you can't afford to move out, or you can't
Mhm.
stay with somebody else, or this, that, and the other. And then I don't know, I'm going to have to size up the relationship, but
Yeah.
that's going to be a day-to-day competition
Mhm.
with the ex.
Yeah.
Your mind is going to be spinning the entire time that you are not
I
with
couldn't.
that person.
I couldn't.
Well, some people
Couldn't.
do.
I'm just saying.
Some people do.
Hard pass for me.
And some people's makeup is you live with the ex. Let's say like you got 2 stories. They live on the top floor, the second story. You live on the bottom floor, or whatnot. Then sometimes you have couples that work different shifts. So I never see this person. You know what I mean? They work, at night. I work during the day. Never really cross paths until we're sleeping with each other.
Crystal says hard pass for sure.
What?
Hard pass for sure. I agree, Crystal.
What? Nah,
Yeah.
you can't hard pass on that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Nope.
All right.
That's a cut and clear.
So there's no negotiating on that.
I
That's
don't think
just,
so.
if they live with the ex, that's a no-go.
And I don't hear anybody else say it's negotiable.
Whoa.
All right, next one. The person is a full-time single parent.
Okay, speak on that though.
I thought of the example, like, say the other parent maybe doesn't live in the town you live in. So for maybe during the school time, you have your kid, you are the parent. That's it. Or maybe the parent's just not around or not in the child's life. So you are the parent, right?
So you're saying full-time, 24/7.
Full-time.
This
so
person
if
has
you
the
are
kid.
going to be in a relationship with me, I'm a full-time single parent. We have to work our dates around my kids, or if I can find a sitter or whatever the case may be. Or also, depending on where our relationship leads, you may be that other parent figure coming into a household with a single parent. Are you willing to do that?
Well, that's a difficult one, because a full-time parent gives you limited time to actually have focus, in my opinion, depending on how old the child is, though.
Totally.
You see what I'm saying? Limited focus on just you two.
Yeah.
Now, if the parent has some things lined up where she or he has like a babysitter or something like that, and it gives
family
you that time,
or something.
yeah, then okay, I can see it. But you can't. I don't see me putting my 100% effort into something that I can't have 100% from. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Like your focus is on your child,
Mhm.
and it's just you and your child. You're not going to neglect your child by, just
Correct. So
giving
you
them
have
somewhere.
to see if that's something you can fit yourself into our situation
Right.
to make, right?
Well, it just depends on what I want out of the relationship. If I want to be
if
a
you
family,
just want
then
fun
of
and
course.
someone to do stuff with, well,
Right.
my do stuff with is limited because I'm a single parent.
Right. One thing that I totally disagree with when it comes to relationships is people, and let me be careful with what I say here, is don't introduce your child to just any old body. You know what I mean? Have different people in and out. You see what I'm saying?
Take a while.
Right. Just
make sure the relationship is worth something before you just keep introducing them.
But see, in this case right here, when somebody's a full-time parent, how do you get to know someone when they have their child all the time? You know what I mean? How do you get to that point to get to know them when they have their child all the time? So you got to know what the information is that she has or he has his child full-time, 24/7, and you got to be prepared for the full family at first.
I can only talk about me being a single parent for a very long time.
All right.
Close your ears.
Okay.
I'm just saying there were others before
Just
you.
go.
I was very adamant with Zaylin that if I brought someone over, they were a friend. We wouldn't show like affection, things like that. It was strictly friend.
All right.
Right? Or it would take a while for me to bring them around, or not at all if it was just a casual dating person.
Right.
Or again, it was like just friendship. Like we wouldn't hold hands, we wouldn't be affectionate, kiss, none of that around him. I think I just tried to, this is mommy's friend. And then there were certain people that maybe made a little bit more of an impression on me to tell my child this is someone I'm dating or that I care for, type thing.
Until Zaylen got older, he like, man, well, why ain't you going out? You'd be like, well, I ain't got nobody to go out with. He'd be like, what happened to all of your friends you brought over here?
See, this is why I said close yours.
Jasmine Tribble says, as a 365-day mom, me and my boyfriend have made it work. Yes. I let it be known they are my number ones. And if you can't accept that, then this isn't for you. Mm-hmm. I agree with that too. We do have limited date nights, but we also do a lot at home date nights. Mm-hmm. If you can't go somewhere. Okay, I can understand that. It's just about the effort that y'all want to put in. I agree with that as well. Gina, I have been single 5 years for that reason. My kids now, what does it say? I'm lost.
Where are your glasses?
I don't need no glasses.
Whatever. Your kids now know what, but their dad only because
of dating, not like it used to be. Okay, so I choose wisely.
Yep.
And my rule is no one comes to my home. Yep. Okay. Yeah. So I guess that was your kids know no one but their dad because the dating pool isn't good. And I can understand that too. Like when I was single, and people had children, I would not meet their children. That was a rule. Yeah. So, if I was not going to be serious with you, I don't want to meet your children.
Correct. Mm-hmm. But to me too, what I kind of treaded lightly about was if it was someone that I saw possibly going somewhere, I would still kind of introduce them in my son's life as a friend, because then at that time, I'm not saying, oh, this is mommy's this and that, and oh, it doesn't work out.
Right.
Right. But at least I'm saying that more to see if my child was comfortable with that person.
Okay.
Period. And they still know him as my friend. So it wasn't like my kid didn't like him and they knew them as my boyfriend or whatever. Right. So it was a little like less sticky, I guess.
Well, yeah, I can understand that. Yeah. But like I said, I just stayed out of that. If I knew I wasn't going to be serious with you and you had children, then
so you were a wham bam, thank you, ma'am.
No, I would date. You go places to date and see each other because they had like a babysitter or this, that, and the other. I just didn't want to be all up in your house or around your child, knowing that you were not. I wasn't going to be serious with you. I just think that's wrong. And in some cases, I would actually look at what is your habit patterns. Like, what do you do with your child? If you got your child in soccer, then you got to go to piano practice, then you got to go to this, and then all of a sudden you got to go to this, and then I got like 30 minutes to see you because we're always doing stuff for the child. Then that's like a no-go. That's a no-go.
I think when Ron and I met, Zaylen happened to be with his dad that summer. So it was like the perfect situation because him and I got to know each other first. Right? Before even Zaylen was even an option to meet you. Correct. So Zaylen didn't even meet you until
he was
15. Yeah. Did he even meet you? I don't remember, but yeah. But I know he was with his dad for the summer. So that gave Ron and I a lot of time to figure it out if it was even something that we wanted to do.
Yeah. So far we've covered living home with the parents. Or the parents live with you. Still married but separated.
Lives with ex but says it's for financial reasons.
Yes.
And then full-time single parents.
Yes. What's next on the board?
Next, let's do unemployed. Always looking for work. Or work is like beneath them. Like I'm not working because all I can find is this job. So then they get no job. Right? Like I'm too good to clean APS schools. I'd rather not work than do that type of job.
And I'll be honest with you, I see a lot of women that fall for these guys with a vision that doesn't go too far. So then what the guys do is they sit at home, and for some reason guys always move in with the girl.
I know.
with no job. Women, stop allowing these dudes to just lay up in your house with no job. The thing is, I can understand if you're looking for work. You know what I mean? Because people do fall on hard times.
Mm-hmm.
However, but when you come into my crib, first of all, it's going to take a minute for you to get into my home, and then you still ain't got a job. Then you come into the home, and all you do is playing video
you
games.
Ain't helping
and
out cleaning.
yeah, you got time to go hang out with the boys. You got time to go do this, that, and the other, but you ain't got time to work. Hard pass for me.
Hard pass.
Yeah, because right now at my age, I'm looking to do things like travel, to take care of stuff, blah, blah, blah. I don't have time for nobody to just be chilling.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, maybe it's when you're younger, you tend to put up with that. But when you're older, you're like, I don't have time.
Yeah.
Or the patience.
I guess it's an age thing.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I just don't. I was on a live the other day on TikTok Live, and guys that's just sitting around, either they pitch that they got this major job offer that's coming up, they boys gonna hook them up, or they're gonna become a rapper and they laid down no lyrics, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Monica says hard pass too. I agree, Mon.
Yes, absolutely not says Jasmine. It's giving a bum energy. McDonald's is always hiring.
Totally.
I agree.
No job should be beneath you if you need income. As a single mother too, like I cleaned offices, hated it.
Right.
But I needed to bring in money. So I had to do what I had to do. That was my second job. I
had a job that paid a lot of money, and then I still worked at Best Buy.
I didn't
need to work at Best Buy.
Yeah.
I just did. Woo, that had to be a hard job. Boy, my feet was hurting at Best Buy.
And now every time he talks about it, he's like, oh God.
Man, I don't know why I worked at Best. It was seasonal, but then they tried to keep me on after that. Nah, player, that's for them kids.
For this little check.
Yeah,
you hated it. You hated your life at that time.
I'm good.
But yeah, I feel like I brought this up on another podcast before, but that show, what is it called? Think Like a Man?
Yes.
Right? Where it's not Sonali Thone. What's her name? The basketball player's wife.
You're talking about Dwayne Wade's?
Yes, his wife.
Yeah.
What is her name?
So you hit me with it real quick. Gabrielle Union.
So Gabrielle Union has the white boy as her man, and he wasn't driven. He was like into like, what are those heroes that you keep him in the box?
Oh yeah.
Superheroes, you keep him in the box. He just had no drive, but he was totally capable. That to me is like, not that I'm judging that, but it's like, what do you want for your life? Do you really just want to stay here
your whole time?
Right.
That's what Gina's saying here. She says, my rule is no job, no career, and not your own place or your own vehicle. It's a no-go. Plus, you have to have future goals.
Yeah, totally.
Right.
I agree, Gina, because yes, future goals. That's all it is.
Yeah.
If not, you're just flatlined.
And your goal can't be to follow me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You got to have your own goals. You have your goals. I have my goals. We have short-term and long-term goals. And then we have goals together. Mm-hmm. But my goal is to get you off the couch.
Yes. Yeah, totally agree. Yeah. So to me, I don't know. I just don't think that I can deal with that if I don't see like motivation to
get to the next level.
So
to you, that's a hard pass.
Hard pass for me.
Yeah, that's a no-go for me too.
Yeah.
You got to be employed.
Okay. Next one, let's do, how about lives in a house with several friends, kind of like a frat house or a bachelor pad?
Okay. It's hard to me. That might be a you question, because I think it's harder for women than it is. I mean, harder for women to accept than it is for guys to accept.
Yeah. I know I dated this guy, and he had another roommate who was a guy, and they were just like dirty and just they didn't care about their home, and it literally just was like seemed like a party house.
Okay.
You know, I don't know. I just felt like where I was in my life, a single parent aiming towards like bettering my career, and then you're partying every weekend. You can't even clean your kitchen to where we can like cook lunch. I couldn't.
Yeah. But see, on the male side of it, for me, if the person that I was interested in lived in a house with a bunch of girls, I'd be like, cool. Because girls, to me, even though they're probably the thing that I would probably hate about it is sometimes a bunch of women together that live together is kind of petty. So I would hear that this whole bickering back and forth, and I'm just like, come on, yeah. But as far as the living situation with her being with a bunch of girls,
but if she's responsible, they maintain the household. She still has like those goals and aspirations. I get it. So even if a guy, I was just gonna say, I just unfortunately haven't met one of those that that had a roommate and also was like, yeah, we just are roommates, but I have a job, I have a car, eventually want to buy a house, whatever. I just haven't met that person. So if they were on that level,
right. Totally. Like I said, females when they get together, it's normally it's been a long time since I've dated, and I don't think I've dated anyone that had a roommate, but females seem to not be the party, messy house, throw everything around type individuals. You know what I mean? It's normally
pretty straightforward.
The life might not be straight, together, but the house is normally together. Because a guy with a messy home, guys with messy homes, that seems natural. Like you would expect if guys live together that it's like a dirty house, frat house,
but there's a
nothing
difference
on the wall.
Between messy and dirty.
Yeah, but you would expect that from a bunch of guys. You wouldn't expect that from a bunch of girls.
Some girls can be nasty.
They probably can. Yeah. I'm just saying.
I have to give Ron props, and I always say this. So when we first started dating, he had his house, and he was so cute where he had curtains.
Yeah.
And he had place settings on the table.
Set all the time.
Yeah, like I was like,
yeah, because if you don't have,
he had
company,
like full utensils. He had like rice cooker, like a full kitchen, not just paper plates, forks, like basic. He was
because you want somebody to come over your house and feel comfortable.
I know you always said that, but you don't see that a lot with single men. They're just
that's why they single. You know what I mean? You want somebody to come over your house and feel comfortable. That's pretty much it. You know what I mean? When I come home, I want it to feel like a home, not like a dude's home or girl's home, but I want it to feel like home.
Okay.
In every house that I've had, we had curtains. We
had curtains. Like not just one curtain. He had like the sheer in the middle, and then the on each end was like a solid one, like a Valent,
don't be putting my secrets out.
He had the little tie on each end to hold it back.
Don't be putting my secrets out.
I'm just saying, you were like very domesticated. All right, next one. I think let's go with workaholics. Say like doctors, lawyers, maybe policemen. Their schedules have changed. I feel like back in the day, firefighters and policemen, they didn't always have this wonderful like 3 or 4 day work schedule, and then they have the rest of the week off. Right? Am I lying? Because I feel like they have this really great schedule where they work like nurses, where they work 3 or 4 days and then they're off the rest of the time. I think they work 3 days and they have 4 days off.
Some of them do.
I feel like back in the day they just constantly worked.
Oh,
that was my impression. But
but in a firefighter situation or a cop situation, I can understand that. But
they're gone 24 hours for those 3 days.
But you know that from the start. You see what I'm saying? I'm in this case when I read this, I'm looking at. I just decide to work. Like I'm supposed to come home at 4:30, but then no, I'm gonna stay till 6. No, I'm gonna stay till like 8, and then every day.
Also, investigators, right? It depends if there's like a homicide or a bank robbery or whatever. Like it's based off what comes up, and I always see like those movies where they're at like a kid's birthday party, and then all their beepers go off, and they're like, "I gotta go."
Oh. Okay, Jennifer, we're going back. She says she has one 52-year-old man, no job, rents a room, sits on the couch for 2 years, and is taken care of. Total narcissist. When I asked him to pull his weight, he would go off on me. I learned that like-minded is necessary.
Yeah.
I would agree. 52
Yeah,
years old.
that's rough.
The bad thing about your
That
situation,
was like a red flag. Just
yeah. The bad thing about your situation, Jennifer, is when you get up there in age 52, you're stuck in your ways. There's no
That's
changing people that get up there
at
in
that
age.
yeah.
Yeah, if you used to that and you just sit around at that age, that's all you're going to be for the rest of your life because you're used to that situation.
I agree.
But you couldn't be me. Couldn't be me.
That's
I'll
rough.
give them this where ultimatums come in. Either you do this or we do this.
We can't do this.
Yeah. To me, I ain't telling you what to do to kick them out or nothing like that. But at this in this point, it takes two to make it, and just sitting on the couch at that age, not gonna cut it.
So, what would be a deal breaker versus negotiable on a workaholic?
You would have to balance me. I can understand you
That
want to
you
get that money, you want to do this, that, and the other, and I can understand where your goals are, but you can't make me second or make me feel second to your job.
Also, too, I think when you are home, be present.
Yes.
Right? Because you're gone a lot. When you're home, don't still want to go out with your friends all the time. Granted, you need to see your friends too, or always on video games, or just not involved with your family. That's not going to work. You're never here, and then when you're home, we still feel like you're not here.
Yeah,
that don't work for me.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah. You, like I said, there has to be a balance. You can't put me second to your job, and then when you do get some free time, it's still like it feels like you're working. You know what I mean? You have to balance your time with me as well as your job. And if it's not really that necessary for you to be working, make sure you sacrifice for me sometimes. If you sacrifice our time for your job, make sure you sacrifice your job's time for me.
Or for certain occasions or birthday parties or just whatever.
Yes.
I agree. All right. Next, we have family issues, meaning our interpretation of that was if like our families don't like say if that person's family didn't like you or your family didn't like them.
Yes.
That's definitely a situation, especially for families that are close.
Right. Let's say you meet a person. This person is to you the one. Like you really like this person. Then all of a sudden, their parents don't like you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And normally they don't like you because of either your demeanor or they like the ex better than they like you. You see what I'm saying? So what do you do in that situation? Is that a turnoff? Do you walk away or do you say, I'm in this relationship?
I'm with you, not them.
Seeing as though this is going to be long term, but
but holidays or things like that, or your significant other has to choose when they can be with you and when they can be with their parents because you guys can't do things together.
Right. Because I know someone, and granted, I don't know who that was that told me that she would have to go to her parents' house on Thanksgiving, and then he would go to his parents' house on for the holidays
because they didn't like
because they didn't like him or she didn't like them or something like that. So, and then it'd be a situation because they would get to the house and be like, "Where's such and such?" And they didn't come. It's like, oh, they don't care about us.
Bad.
Yeah, then that's a different situation too.
Yeah.
So if the parents don't like you or you don't like the parents, is that a hard pass on a relationship? Would you not get into that relationship because of or further relationship because of the relationship between you and the parents?
I think it could strongly affect things. So especially because I'm so close to my family and we do a lot of things together. So if I'm having to go to all these events without you, then I might as well be single. Right?
I can see that.
Yeah. All right. Next one. Can't or don't want children.
Ooh. That's a sticky one right there.
It is. Like if I come in and say, hey, I want to get married and I want children.
And I'm like, I'm 50 and I don't want no children.
Right.
Or I'll say, in this case, you have children and I don't have children and I want children, but you say, nah,
I don't
I
want
don't
any
want any
more.
children. I'm gonna be like, why are you depriving me from being a father when you have the feeling of being a mother already?
Yeah. I don't know if that's negotiable.
I think that's a hard pass.
I think it's a
when
hard
it comes
pass
to
too.
kids,
Because you don't want someone to settle because eventually it's gonna come up again.
Yeah. When it comes to children and a family, if the person doesn't want a family or they can't have a family and that's what your main focus is, then it's going to be a hard pass for me. There's no way that I could get involved with somebody if I don't or can't do this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree.
Can't having children is different than not wanting to have children because there's a lot of people out there that can't have children.
Right.
So you have to put that into consideration.
The thing is, though, I think a negotiable might be if you can't have children, maybe adopt.
Okay.
Or get a puppy.
No. But adoption.
I'm just saying. There's people who are like, I'm not going to leave my wife because she can't have children, but
not your wife. We're not talking about your wife. We're talking about
dating.
If you're dating someone and you want children, right?
Okay, well,
but you find out that they either can't or don't want children. I feel like you are
my forever person, and I'm not gonna drop you just because we can't have children.
Okay, that yeah.
Maybe we can adopt. Maybe there's other options.
Right. But if there is a situation where I really wanted children and I found out from the start that you can't have children, then I might have to walk away from the situation because that is one thing that I pride my family history on is to pass on my last name. And if I'm not able to, and I don't want to adopt because I want to have my own children, then I would walk away. It's tough because now I'm dealing with your feelings and I'm pretty sure that you are torn, especially if you can't have children. If you just don't want to have children, then that's totally different than not being able to have a child.
Yeah, I agree.
All right.
Well, this should be in the same lines as animals. What if you love dogs or cats and that person doesn't or they're allergic? People love their animals, boy.
They do. Woo, I don't know about that one.
Right? So you guys who have animals, dogs or cats, if you met the love of your life, possibly, and they were like, ew, I do not like cats.
Does the cat have to go?
Does the cat have to go?
Man, there's people that will choose the cat over the person.
I agree.
In a minute.
Yeah. Sometimes that is a hard pass. Or like I said, what if I'm allergic? Deathly allergic. I can't. I literally physically cannot do it.
Well, then that's it. You made your decision right there.
So a few things that I said when dealing with like deal breakers and negotiables, I was saying like when their sitch affects your sitch. Right?
Yeah, when that situation affects your life, like if you have to juggle your life and
around that, it's not gonna work.
Correct.
When you can't experience the full perks of a relationship, like I said, if I'm having to go to all these events by myself because for whatever reason you're not there because you don't like my family or whatever,
or you have your child 24/7 and you're going from
I might as well be single.
Yeah, and I'm not going to all these events because you have them
all the time.
Yeah, they're connected to each other. Band practice to cheerleading to this, and I'm just like, I don't have any time with you. Then that's when your situation affects my situation.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
And then lastly, I have when their sitch affects your emotions or feelings. Like literally, like it's affecting me.
Right. If somebody has a situation and it's physically affecting you, it is affecting your emotions, your thought process, this, that, and the other, you need to reevaluate your situation. If it affects you to the point where it's a negative feeling, then you need to evaluate because it's not going to get any better until you look into it or you come to terms with whatever's going on. My advice would be never settle on something that you would think would be a hard pass.
I agree. As much as you hope that things will change, maybe they will, this or that, or maybe eventually, or sometimes you basically waste your time and their time.
Right. Especially when it comes to children and family. Never settle for something that's going to turn out negative, or you're going to take in a negative aspect when it comes to family and kids.
Totally agree.
All right. So
yeah,
that is our topic for today. Dating someone in a situation. Have a whole bunch of situations out there that can be negative or positive. We came up with a few and discussed those today. We appreciate you guys chiming in. If you can think of any other situations that you have been in that you would like to discuss or whatever, just let us know. And then we'll address those topics or those situations. We love to hear the stories. You know what I mean? The stories.
It's very interesting. When you live a certain way, it's so interesting to me anyways, to just see how other people do things.
Right. And you have some people like Jennifer says, a 52-year-old man. I don't know if that's her man or how long they've been together, but that's a long time for somebody to just be sitting around. Some people accept it. You know what I mean? Some people are like, nah, I'm not having that. So it just makes me curious on how people take in information and take in people and deal with the situations differently. Yeah. Some things that we say is a hard pass. Some people are like, nah, that's nothing.
That doesn't bother me.
Yeah, like that's nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we really appreciate you guys joining us for this episode of Chatter of Opinion.
Yeah.
Once again, if you want to catch all the episodes, we have them on YouTube Live.
Chatter of Opinion.
Under Chatter of Opinion. I will do better as uploading them on Spotify. I'm a little behind on Spotify. Same thing under Chatter of Opinion. If you guys have any topics you want us to cover, make sure you shoot them our way.
Mm-hmm.
We're on here every Thursday at 6 p.m. Mountain Time. We appreciate all you guys for supporting us. And until next time, I guess we'll holler at you guys.
Thanks, guys.
Later.